James Sunderland.
Mr. Deputy Speaker, I'm very privileged to be called so early, thank you. And I'm also very grateful to my friend from Melton and Rutland for picking up the baton of this debate. I wish to refer members, if I may please, to my registration of interest as well. As the Vice Chair of the Overseas Territories All-Party Group and as the Chair of a number of individual Overseas Territory groups, my personal interest in this goes back a long way. I'm one of the few members perhaps to have served in Cyprus, in Gibraltar, the Falklands, the Ascension, South Georgia and Diego Garcia, and I'm very lucky to have done so. The Overseas Territories are a vital part of our UK family. They are strategically essential in terms of footprint, basing and geography, but they're also essential to the projection of UK soft power around the world. They have a common language and culture. They have similar hopes and aspirations, and we must not underestimate or take for granted their value to the UK. So if I have to make one point today, one point only, it is this. Our overseas territories need more love. In this era of global competition, the hunt for resources and strategic basing, and also instability across the world, our foes are circling, and we need to cement what we've got as a nation. So to admire the problem, if I may, for a moment, Brexit was not kind to the overseas territories. So what we now must do is lock the overseas territories into free trade deals with us and all of our partners, and also think more broadly to the Commonwealth. How fantastic would it be for global Britain to have this network of trade arrangements, particularly with the Commonwealth, and just think of what that might be worth to the UK. Think of the potential. The UK White Paper also from 2019 has gone nowhere. So where is it, please, Minister? But of course, any work that we now do, and I welcome the point being made about the new strategy, it has to be done with the overseas territories and not for them. The Joint Ministerial Council last year, the ill-fated Ministerial Council, has at least been put to bed now with an excellent session this week. And of course, the Minister is here, which is entirely appropriate. But ministerial visits need to be a lot longer. Does it need a minister in the House of Commons? Perhaps. We need to station civil servants there for longer too. And visiting delegations from the overseas territories to the UK, visiting the FCDO, need more than 30 minutes at a time. We have to be rolling out the red carpet for these very important people and listening to their concerns. We also need a clear and regular bilateral dialogue to fix specific issues, because of course the OTs themselves are very different. One size does not fit all.
Will he give way?
Please do.
I am very grateful, and he and I recently visited the Falkland Islands together to celebrate the 40th anniversary of their liberation from Argentina. We were told at the time of our visit that we needed to do more to support the Falkland Islands in their negotiations with the European Union over tariffs on their squid and exports to the EU. Does he agree with me that we need to be more robust and supportive of the overseas territories when they are negotiating with the European Union?
Thank you, and I agree entirely with my honourable friend. I need to be careful what I'm saying for obvious reasons, but I entirely agree that that needs to be the case. The Falklands, for example, is suffering tariffs right now on fish, and we need to do that very, very quickly indeed. So why not also create a Pacific department within the FCDO for the OTs and the Commonwealth? Longer JMCs perhaps, and of course the new strategy. There's lots we need to do, as my honourable friend said. So what about Pacifics? Well, I can't hope to cover the totality in 5 minutes, but we do need a new trade arrangement with the overseas territories to reflect the changes with the European Union and other countries. The British Virgin Islands in particular wants its prescriptive court order lifted. It has a new government and a superb new Prime Minister, so it's time now for the BVI to fulfil its potential and to move forward. Tristan da Cunha needs a boat, as we know and as we heard, for obvious strategic and medical reasons. And of course we cannot concede sovereignty of the Chagos Islands until we factor in fully the plight of the Chagosians. And also the military importance of the archipelago is very important as well. In terms of South Georgia, the fisheries could be brought under the governance of the Falkland Islands, and therefore residents in all OTs should benefit from the potential that we all have. And all OTs need the support that they must have in terms of infrastructure, utilities and climate change. So to conclude, if I may, the UK relationship with the overseas territories has been referred to recently as benign neglect. That's a very powerful phrase. I don't subscribe to that, but it is a wake-up call for us in this place, and we need to do more, in my view, to cement our relationship with the overseas territories. The overseas territories should not be seen somehow as subordinate to the UK. They simply want to be partners, and self-determination must therefore be perceived as well as real. Lastly, one size does not fit all, as I said. This must be reflected in more of the red carpet given to each one and more bilateral arrangements. And Mr. Speaker, the OTs are very special and they're very proud to carry the UK flag. The UK must therefore seek to get more from them, but also to offer more back as true partners for mutual benefit. Nothing is broken, far from it, but this is now a fantastic opportunity that the UK and its partners in the overseas territories must embrace.
Daniel Kaczynski.
Very much, Mr. Deputy Speaker.